Greetings, YouTube. Here I am back again. I'm that guy that's got that 60-gallon African tank, and of course, as most of us in the hobby, I need to get another tank, and another tank, and another tank. So this is actually acting as my nightlight. My bedtime light. I got this 10-gallon here. Did a decent amount of planting. I went with background, foreground, and midground level plants in here. You can see I got a couple dwarf grasses, which are from an older tank that I had. Don't ask me the specifics on the other plants, and obviously if I have no problem if you do recognize them, and you can go ahead and let me know exactly what they are, so I don't feel like as much of an idiot when I'm talking about plants. All I know is that they're green and leafy, and I'm hoping that eventually they will carpet this. This 10-gallon has the lava rock, which was, you know, as we all know, entirely too expensive. Could have just bought a bunch of actual lava rocks and crushed them up, but I guess sometimes I'm just a little too lazy for my own good, and I just went with what I got. Yes, folks, that is a rubber band that I have not fished out yet, so don't worry about it. It's not going to hurt anything anyway. One of my MTSs, I know a lot of people are dead set against these pest snails, as they're called, but I find they're actually quite handy. They're good to have in your cleanup crew, and when you have that explosion of population of these Malaysian trumpet snails, it's usually because you haven't been doing a very good job at taking care of your tank, because these guys don't explode in population if there's not enough food for all of them to munch on. So new guys to the hobby, definitely keep that in mind before you run away from the pest snails. I actually seek them out, as they're especially helpful when you have sand as a substrate. If you have sand as a substrate, they like to go ahead and bury themselves at night, which helps go ahead and aerate that sand a little bit, keeps rotting things from getting worse and actually poisoning your fish, because yes, they absolutely can. Your fish absolutely can be poisoned from the sand in a tank if it's got stuff underneath there that is rotting and gives off gas. So, and as we see here, my little blue shrimp, now I can't see him from this angle. There he is. He is usually never seen because he just blends in way too well with that black substrate. But there he is hanging out. And to be honest with you, shrimp are probably one of the biggest reasons why I ended up putting this tank together in the first place. Although, yes, we have a bunch of other fish. I've actually become quite fond of shrimp just from the beginning of throwing a couple ghost shrimp in. They're some of the most fascinating aquatic species I think I've ever had in a tank. They're just a blast to sit there and watch them do their thing day in, day out. And once again, they're very effective at being part of the cleanup crew. One of my gouramis that I got, this is the male. I got me a male and a female dwarf gourami. Initially, when I put this together, I did not have any larger fish. The only things that I had in here, yes, Bailey, you have your monkey, apparently. Yeah, the only thing that I had in here was I had these guys and some a couple ghost shrimp, which are all gone. Unfortunately, ghost shrimp are not very hardy. It's what happens when you get something that's only really bred for food. They're not bred very well or taken care of. And then we got the Cories. They moved over from this smaller tank that I'll show you guys here in a minute. So it was the neons, the Cories, and a couple ghost shrimp. And since then, I've gone ahead, grabbed some guppies. In one instance, I wanted to get something with a little more splash of color to them, because I had just got the gouramis, and I like the color on them, but I wanted something to contrast. Went with these guys because, well, that's what they had at my LFS that were of any interest to me. But I'm kind of wishing I would have just gone ahead and got some velvet swords, because these guys are not that much smaller to velvet swords or even some Mickey Platties. So, but I wanted to go with guppies. Initially, I was thinking I wanted to go with a little bit smaller fish, and I wanted to have a live bearer in there. Call me cruel, but it's a little snack for people down at the bottom. And maybe every once in a while, especially if this all blanket's over, we'll get a couple of them that live. So, let's see. I got 2 cherry shrimp in here, but I don't see them. The guys are usually pretty good at hiding. They've been hiding a lot more since I put the gouramis in, even though the gouramis are not a threat to them. They're been a lot more hiding. So, but that's my nightlight. That is my 10-gallon tank. Leave your comments in the space below, or don't, whatever. Real quick, we'll go over here. And this is the 10-gallon, or the 8.8 gallon. I don't know what's going to happen with this one after the shrimp are born, or are big enough to take care of themselves. Probably not going to be able to see any of them because they're so small. And that's something that kind of irks me a little bit, is I got these little tiny roundworms that are in there. I did a hell of a cleaning in this tank today, and somehow managed to not lose all of the ghost shrimp when I did it. But there's a lot of stuff down in that substrate that was just old and rotted, and I think that's why these guys blew up in population, these little worms. There was one of the ghost shrimp babies. It was just floating across. These guys are about 4 or 5 days old. I don't know if we're going to be able to see another one in here or not. But yeah, there he is. And the camera even zoomed in on him. So, hopefully these guys live. Hopefully these guys make it. I'm going to try and match the water parameters of this tank to exactly what I have in the other tank. And hopefully that will aid in their survival. But all of the mommies died. All of the mommy ghost shrimp died. One of them died in here before she dropped her berries, and the other 2 died in the 10-gallon. So hopefully I'll be able to get these guys better acclimated to the type of water they're going to be in if they get big enough to move over there. So that's the end of it. Anybody got any cool ideas of things that I could do with this 10-gallon after that's all said and done? By all means, let me know. And I hope everybody's having a great day. Thanks. Bye.